Started. Thank you all for coming to hear what I have to say about the happenings in the dining service department. I've been maintaining these quarterly chats even during our COVID times. The last time I did a chat, it was just me and Mr. Mackner in a room and he filmed me. So now I'm glad I actually get to be in front of you all and have some interaction. So I'm going to just cover a handful of topics ranging from where we are with staff, different things that we're doing in the dining room, and some upcoming events and stuff like that. So first of all, let's talk about some new faces in the dining room. Some recent new hires. We have two new servers. We have a Madeline and we have an Anna Lee. Madeline's been with us for about 2 weeks now, and Anna Lee has just started a couple days ago. So I hope you all have got to meet these new faces. They're charming young ladies and they're doing very well so far. We're also in the process of hiring a cook. We have a person that's already been through the vetting process, and she is going through drug background, reference checking, that kind of stuff. We're hoping to see the whites of her eyes, hopefully by the end of the week if all works out. For those that don't know what's been going on behind the scenes, behind the walls of the kitchen, we've been down 2 cooks for quite some time. And Chef Larry and Chef Bill have stepped up and have been taking the lion's share of a lot of the vacant cook shifts. So first I want you all to say thank you, Chef Larry. All right, that was beautiful. Now, honestly, the amount of extra shifts that Chef Larry and Chef Bill have been doing lately has just been Herculean. You know, they've worked a lot of their weekends. They've worked shifts they don't normally work. They've really, and if they're not working a culinary position, they might be in the kitchen washing pots and pans. So these guys have really stretched quite a distance, and I'm just very grateful for what the two of them have been doing to keep the kitchen running strong and producing some delicious food. Who had the soft tacos today? Besides me. I thought they were delicious. That was another Chef Larry creation today. Let's see. So couple things that we've been doing different. So last month we started a program called the Chef's Table. And at the Chef's Table, instead of a cooking demo, which this basically has replaced the cooking demo that we used to do in the gathering place where we would squeeze 35 or 40 people in there and watch them cook one thing and everybody gets a sample. Now we're making a meal out of it. This is something we've been wanting to do for some time, and due to our situation, it's given us an opportunity to move in that direction. So last month he did a filet mignon meal, which was a 3-course meal. He cooked everything from scratch right in front of you all. It was filmed. It's been on My W Life. If you'd like to see Chef Larry in action with his sidekick David, you can amuse yourself for about 45 minutes or so. So we did that last month. It worked out beautifully. You know, the 8 people that were in attendance had a wonderful meal. And tomorrow, Chef Larry is doing another meal like that, but this time instead of with a beef theme, it's going to be a seafood and crab theme. Chef, do you want to say anything about your meal tomorrow?
Oh, it's going to be lovely.
Okay.
Now, the theme is going to be crabby. That's what it's going to be. So everything is going to have crab in it. So I'm going to make a cold soup. It'll have crab in it. And then I'm going to make an entree that has crab in it. And then I'm going to make a dessert that has crab in it. So everything's going to have crab in it. But it'll all be lovely.
All right. So there you have it. You have just heard from the Krabby Chef. And so when we do these meals, these little special chef table events, it is the theme right now has been more premium. So we can only accommodate 10 people. So for the 10 people that do get in each month, you know, it's a premium meal. You get to watch the man in action. It is a 2-meal credit event, but it's well worth it. I mean, a meal like what he did last month, you know, if you had gone to a restaurant, that'd be a $40 meal easily. So he did a beautiful job. So we're going to continue doing that. You know, we've been looking for opportunities to get back to the basics of showmanship, which is what we like to do.
What time is that?
12:30. Now it's by reservation only. Check the chimes when it comes out at the beginning of the month. You would want to sign up early. So for October, yeah, you'd want to get on board with that as early as you can. Another event that we have coming up on September 23rd, we're going to do a special breakfast in the morning. We're going to feature omelets and French toast sticks. The French toast sticks was a byproduct from when we were serving all of our meals delivered, and it really went over well. I had so many people compliment these little things, which can't say that they're very glamorous, but they are very tasty. So we'll have those available again for everybody. In celebration of Yom Kippur on September 28th, we're going to have a matzo ball soup available for lunch and dinner, and we'll have coconut macaroons for dessert that day as well. Last year, in celebration of Yom Kippur, we did a full meal with you know, the Jewish theme items. This time we're toning it down just a little bit, because also I don't want to take too much attention away from the rollout of the new menu. Oops, I just let the cat out of the bag. We have a new menu getting ready to roll out. So the rollout's going to be on the day before, on the 27th. Let's see. Also, something nice that we're doing is on Thursday, this week, if everybody is not aware, this week we're celebrating assisted living. So we're doing things for the staff as well as for the residents who live in the I, J, and K buildings. So each department does something different to honor the people that work and live there. And on Thursday, we're going to do an ice cream social for the residents in those buildings. All right, next topic I want to talk about are dining committee comments. So we just had our dining committee meeting last week, and a few things came up that I wanted to kind of share with everyone. So the first thing is, excuse me, on the subject of reservations. I know this is a delicate topic, because you know there are 3 ways for people to make reservations. You can do it either with MyWLife, you can go the electronic route, you can call 598 between 1 o'clock and 3 and speak with one of our hostesses, or you can speak with the hostess while you're in the dining room and make your reservation. So we have 3 ways to do it, and still we have people saying, you know, I made a reservation and you don't have it. Sometimes we have situations where people make reservations and we're full. We make every best attempt to contact you if that happens and let you know that you have the option of having us deliver it to you, or you have the option to come to the dining room to pick it up. So sometimes we have that situation where we're full. Sometimes we have the situation where people make reservations and there are mistakes. They thought they made a reservation for the first seating, but they made it for the second, or vice versa. Those mistakes do happen. Sometimes there are mistakes where people swear that somebody else included them in a table, but it didn't quite happen. So there are things that happen from the resident side, and by no means am I trying to say that dining doesn't make our share of mistakes. We have so many reservations coming in. You know, we have emails upon emails upon emails, plus, you know, like I said, plus dealing with the face-to-face. You know, I'm not ever going to try to stand here and say that, you know, we've never botched. But there are a lot of different moving parts in this process. And any time that somebody doesn't get an opportunity to eat in the dining room, nobody is ever going to be denied a meal. We will deliver for, we're still delivering for free. So, there's no loss there. We'll deliver it for free. We'll give you the opportunity to come pick it up and bring it back, to your apartment or to your villa. So, there's no losers in this situation. But, excuse me, I just asking for a little bit of understanding that sometimes mistakes happen on both sides of the fence. With so many moving parts involved, so many details, as far as the fact that, people often make mistakes thinking that, like I said, it could be a simple mistake, thinking that it was the first seating instead of the second, or vice versa. And, we have these situations happen almost on a daily basis. So that's kind of what I have to say about this. Yes, my friend.
Somebody is really on 598.
Oh, somebody is really at 598 before 1:30.
Yes.
But we're supposed to call between 1 and 3.
Yes.
So
Now-
but you really can't call before 1:30.
No, between 1 and 3, there is somebody up there. At 1 o'clock, there's somebody. Now, let me explain. There's a detail that I'm trying to resolve right now, where there's a perception, and it's perfectly understandable, there's a perception that the phone is not manned. People tell me a lot, well, I called and nobody answered, okay? I hear that. Unfortunately, at the moment, if you call and nobody answers between 1 and 3, that's because, Krista and Kathy or Shirley is on the phone with somebody taking their reservations. It doesn't go straight to a busy signal like you would think it should. It doesn't go directly to voicemail either, which we would like. So I recently got the contact information from the phone company, that does all the programming for the fancy, sophisticated phone systems that we have. And I want to get that corrected. I think if I can get it corrected to the point where at least you get a busy signal, or if it goes directly to voicemail, then at least the frustration, because you feel like nobody's there because it's ringing. How many times does it ring before it goes to voicemail? Do you know? Okay. So if it went to voicemail on the second ring, then you would know that's the signal that somebody's already talking. That's what we're working on. I think that'll take some of the frustration out. But yeah, my staff is doing that. Okay. For sure. Any other questions about the reservation system that we have? Okay. Well, that was good. Like I said, I know it's been a delicate topic, and I certainly feel for anybody who wanted to get into the dining room that couldn't. We have limited seats, and we do the best we can with what we have, but we'll always deliver. Whether it's raining like this or not, we'll always deliver. We'll always make sure everyone is taken care of. There was a comment that also came up from the dining committee as a backup plan, that if the dining room, if we're having a special event, if it's salmon night and everybody and their brothers and sisters have come out for salmon and the dining room filled up quickly, another option might be that, if you're with your group of 4 and you were hoping, to be in the dining room but you couldn't, we're kicking around the option of overflow into the River Lounge, where you might be able to sit down there. You could still sit with your group of friends. We'll give you a cutlery kit, plastic cutlery kit to go along with your meal, maybe a can of soda, and send you over there where you can at least, salvage your dining experience in a nicer way. So I'm working with housekeeping right now to get some details worked out, because if you do eat in there, the last thing I would want is for somebody to go in and sit at a place that's dirty, that's not been sanitized and disinfected. So above all, we're doing such a great job with keeping staff and residents safe, and we're not like a lot of places where COVID is taking over. Excuse me. Okay. So I just hope that we can continue taking every precaution to keep everybody safe. Okay, those were some of the remarks that came out of Dining Committee. And we discussed that at length because these are definitely some hot topics. All right, I appreciate everybody that is filling out their electronic comment cards. I'd like to just ask you all, if you're not filling out the electronic comment cards, to please do so, and please ask your neighbors and friends to do that as well. We've been averaging anywhere from up to about 120 to 140 comments per month electronically, which is pretty darn good. This last month, the number of comments that have come in have dipped down pretty far. I think we went down to somewhere around 50 or 60 maybe, if that many. And when the numbers start getting low, the statistically significant quality of the comment card report gets compromised a little bit. But I'll share with you some of the results that we've gotten over the last 3 months, just so you know what kind of feedback we've been getting. So the first comment has to do with taste, and this is for the people that are saying that everything is above average or exceptional. June it was 83%, July was 98%, and August was 71%. So at 71%, that was also the month that we had the smallest amount of comment cards returned. And statistically, I'll just defend this for just a half a moment here. Statistically, in that month, there were 7 people, there were seven meals where somebody voted very poorly. So when you see 71%, it's not like there's a landslide of people all saying the food is lousy. We're talking about 7 individual comments that were negative compared to a total of 27 comments that were scored. So statistically, we get a much better reading if I have 100 people commenting, and then I can see really, what the impressions are. But overall, I will say that throughout the year, food taste is typically in the 80s. Typically, an average number is 82 to 88%. In July when we had 98%, obviously that month Larry cooked every single meal every day of the week. That was a little boost to you there, old buddy. You're welcome. You work with me here, Larry. Work with me. I'm trying to boost you up. Okay. Temperature in June was 84%, July 94%, and August 81%. Service was 91% in June, 96% in July, and 100% in August. Way to go, Kathy. Overall experience was 85% in June, 96% July, and 91% in August. And atmosphere was 100% in June, 98% in July, 95% in August. So overall, these numbers are pretty good. And these numbers, we have probably 2 to 3 times the number of people fill out comment cards that don't fill it out numerically. Most people will skip the number portion and just write a comment on the back. And on the list of comments, which we'll need a whole nother meeting if you want to hear me read all these comments. Most of the comments are really positive. And I got to tell you that it really does something for me in a nice way when I hear people, especially when they single out specific servers. And they talk about how this person knows what I want before I even sit down, how cheerful they are, how much what a difference my servers make in your lives is very important to me. I hire servers not because they come from places that gave them the best amount of training, I hire servers based on attitude. If you person with a good attitude and disposition, we can train the tasks. You look at all of our high school students, they came in here with nothing. I rarely have a high school student come in here with any experience. And right now, the group of kids we have, these guys are the best. I mean, is there anybody in here that doesn't agree that I've got an awesome staff of teenagers? Yeah, they're great. Every year, me and Kathy look at the new crop and we think, oh my goodness, these guys are nothing compared to the guys that are graduating and moving on. And then usually about 3 or 4 months later, we're like, wow, these guys are even better than the last group. So I'm very proud of the training program that we have. And we do. We invest in these students tremendously to make sure that they know how to be attentive in the dining room and how to give some good service. And they do. They really do a beautiful job. So just wanted to share that with you. So I mentioned about the new menu is rolling out. Now, all my veterans sitting in here know that typically when the new menu rolls out, we'll do a new menu tasting party, typically in the River Lounge or Gathering Place. And we have a lot of food laid out in the afternoon, and we let you come and sample it and make a big event out of it. Obviously, we're not doing any big events. So the next best thing for us to do is we're going to do New Menu Tuesday, or Fall for the New Menu. The first day of fall is next Tuesday. Get a fall for the new menu. I thought that was very creative of me. So I don't know why nobody else does. Well, anyhow, so Tuesday is going to be our new menu Tuesday. All of the entrees, the soups, the desserts and salads are all going to be samples from the new menu that's getting ready to roll out. We're also going to have, if you will oblige us and go online, we have a comment card that's already preloaded in My W Life. It's towards the bottom of our list of all the different things that you can see on the dining page. But just open up My W Life, go to dining, on the left side, scroll all the way down, and what's it called, Kathy? Yeah, seasonal rating form. Look for that. It'll be pretty obvious what it's there for, and on there is another one of our. It looks a lot like our comment cards, but so you can score the items. Let us know if how you like them or any other suggestions that you might have, and we'll work with it. As far as the items on the menu, well, I'll get to that in just a minute. So we're going to do the tasting next Tuesday. On the 27th of September will be the new menu rollout, and as far as some highlights, as you see. I took some excerpts and put it on this handout that you all have. And I just want to share with you that we were ready to roll out a new menu in March, right around the time that the whole COVID nonsense kicked in. So I had a menu revised, ready to go then, and it just got benched. And then we decided a couple months later, we're going to roll out the new menu for summer. And once again, I got this menu tweaked up and ready to go, and it got benched. So this time, we actually have another draft of the menu that's ready to go. But because something that I do, whether it's new menu related or not, every week I typically make a few revisions to the menu cycle before we roll it out. Because every time we have a 4-week menu cycle. So that means we have 168 different entrees every 4 weeks. That's a lot. Well, see, that's based on 3 entrees. Now I have to revise my number on that. So who can do 4 times 28? Come on, somebody tell me. What's 4 times 28? No mathletes? Okay. But it's a lot of different entrees. But they get old. Or sometimes we run items that just don't make any friends. So every week before I roll out the following week's menu, I typically pull a couple things off and plug a couple things on. Sometimes I'm adding things because in the dining committee I get suggestions of why don't we do this or why don't we do that. Sometimes I'm reading your comments from the comment cards and you're asking me, can we add this to the menu or that to the menu? Or if I get a lot of people complaining about one thing, I'm going to pull it off, even if I don't have something in my back pocket that I want to plug in there. Because if there's something that's not working, I'm not going to leave it there. That's the beautiful thing about our menu process, is that we don't pre-print menus for the whole year and we have to live with it until the menu company gives us another batch. Chef and I can revise menus as, on a weekly basis, and we do, for you, because we want to keep things interesting. So some of the items that are on this menu that are rolling out, these are new submissions. For example, the kale salad with berries, feta, and poppy seed was supposed to have waited for that, but I put that out early. The pork pot roast, the crawfish and shrimp étouffée, the hoisin glazed spare ribs. Those are all items that we've already seen, but they're going to still continue in the new cycle. The green beans with water chestnuts that we had on the luau theme night, that's going to be on the new menu, and a lot of stuff. But even with all the changes that are going to be on the new menu, it'll continue to evolve, because that's what we do. We just keep it rolling. I do as much as I can to keep it fresh as possible. So, any questions about the new menu process? All right. Well, very good, very good. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? All right, so lastly, a quick mention that in a couple weeks, on October 5th, is the beginning of Dining Service Appreciation Week. So you'll probably see some sort of banner or something alerting everybody to know that. But this is the week that, if you see an opportunity to say thanks to any of my team, please do so. We work really hard all year long. And you all see, all departments get their week. Nobody's a loser. Everybody gets a door prize. There's nursing week, CNA week, housekeeping week, social worker week. Everybody's got a week. Well, the first week of October is dining service. So please take a moment to thank my team during that week. That would be lovely. And for next month, so far, the first event that we have planned is going to be, we have an Oktoberfest theme, which will be on October 21st. We are still working on our chimes submission, so I don't have the rest of the specials to discuss for you what we're going to do in October and November, but we will have more than just Oktoberfest. So I think that's my spiel for the day. I'm open to any questions, comments, or concerns.
Wait for the microphone.
Yes, in the back.
I have a question and a suggestion. The question is I always order 2% milk, and at least 50% of the time y'all are out of it. Is there some reason not enough of the 2% is being ordered?
I know recently our dairy drivers have changed routes, and there's been a little bit of an upset in the routine, but we'll get it back, and thanks for letting us know.
My suggestion is that, and I have mentioned this to some in the dining room, whoever is ladling up the liquid or wet vegetables, they need to use a slotted spoon, because I remember one time it was spinach, and all the juice from the spinach and the entree I ordered was fried chicken. All the spinach juice was in the meat section, and the fried chicken was just, which y'all do an excellent job of, was just floating in spinach juice.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been, and that was obviously on a day that Chef Larry wasn't in the kitchen working. So I'm sure he just heard your concern, and he will make sure that doesn't happen in the future. Thanks for sharing. Okay, Ms. B?
Wait for the microphone.
David, is there anything to the rumor that you're thinking of putting up petitions in the dining room?
Oh, partitions in the dining room? Yes, there is something to that rumor. It's actually not partitions, but what we're talking about doing, and this isn't going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately, but we're working with the design team from Orlando to put what we call room breaks. A room break what does help divide the dining room into sections and would be approximately this tall with preferably a little floral thing on top. But it would be done, it wouldn't be huge, but just a little something so we can begin creating more formal sections and try to phase away the look of the one large open room. It wouldn't block the view. I mean, obviously, the view of the water is what y'all paid for here.
Yeah.
So,
would the residents have any input on that, whether they would like it or not? Most people enjoy the large dining room.
I'm not sure if this is something that would be put to a committee vote or anything like that. It has been discussed in dining committee. There are some concerns about blocking the view, but when we explain that it's not going to be very tall, I think the committee as a whole felt comfortable to stand behind that.
Do you anticipate ever going back to full capacity?
As far as going back to full capacity, I have no idea what the future has in store for us.
David, what's the purpose of it?
Of the room breaks?
Of sectioning it off. If it's, I can see if it's blocking for the COVID, but if it's just to block it off, I don't see the purpose.
The purpose is just aesthetics. One large open room like this for dining isn't as intimate as having some smaller areas. Like, most restaurants don't. Some restaurants like Maggiano's does have one large room, but a lot of other restaurants have a lot of smaller spaces. And we're not making a bunch of smaller spaces. It's still going to be very open and airy. But, I mean, we're only talking about 4 feet tall. That's all. It's just to make it look a little bit more attractive. I mean, it's just eye appeal that we're looking at.
Well, one of the other things on my mind, could we have more gravies with the meats? Because a lot of times they're so dry.
Sure, we can do that.
I mean, even ham. I used to make like Virginia ham so that I had a pineapple something or other gravy that went over it.
I'll pay attention to that as this menu is rolling out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A comment about those room partitions. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for walkers and wheelchair residents.
I'm sure that the designers will take that into effect. We haven't seen a schematic yet. And this is why it's being designed by people with a lot more experience in interior design than myself. It's nothing. There's nothing new and kind of.
Right.
We're not reinventing any wheels. This is pretty common in most large spaces. I'm sure they won't suggest anything that would be so obtrusive to make it difficult for people to walk.
I would think it would be good to let the residents have a say-so in whether that's done.
Okay.
The other comment I wanted to make is I get the home delivery meals and I'm having trouble 3, 4, 5 times a week of items being left out. It's one time it was 3 items left out of the meal. And sometimes there are items put in the meal that I haven't even asked for.
Does this happen more at the noon meal or the evening meal?
I'd say noon,
Really? Okay.
because that's the meal I get most often.
All right. Well,
But
thanks.
when I called 339 and asked for the items to be delivered, it took almost 2 hours, and by then they were out of the vegetables. So I never got the complete meal.
All right.
Also, these trays can't be turned over in those plastic bags, or all the food is in one corner. And it's like she said, the food is ruined if it's all soaked together. So they need to be careful of that.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that with me. We'll work more closely with the team that's packaging food.
Yeah, that's a big problem for us.
Okay.
One resident said that her entree was not there. No.
Okay. I'll work more closely with my team that's packaging. Thanks for sharing that.
Do you have any idea if you will add the third entree in the near future?
I don't.
You don't? And
Sorry, that decision was made above me.
Okay. Oh, and will the lunch specials always look better than dinner specials? Do they? I thought they changed them every couple of weeks or something. But like, I would love to have soft tacos today for dinner.
I'll take a closer look at this new cycle. I know we have soft tacos, and we're actually bringing back the Mexican taco salad, which is in the large tortilla bowl. But I'll take a closer look to see if make sure we're not forgetting the evening people.
Thank you.
Sure.
Dave, to what extent are our menus local choice as opposed to centrally determined?
As far as the menus being local choice rather than central, I can tell you that I design the menus based on comments that I hear from our group. The menu process starts. The menu begins as a team approach. I'm on the menu writing team, along with 3 other dining directors and chefs that put together a base format. And then once that format is created, then each of the communities is allowed to make their own variations. And I can tell you, I make a ton of variations from what the base looks like. So again, if you have suggestions, if there's things that you haven't seen that you'd like to see, shoot me a message. Or when you see me in the dining room, let me know some things that, perhaps we've never thought about putting on the menu that you would like. I'm always open to hearing suggestions. It's very helpful. Oh.
Dave, the other day you mentioned a steamer. Is that in? How close are you to getting the new steamer?
So because of the goodness of the way our community uses the money from the foundation and uses money for capital improvements, we're in the process of getting rid of a piece of equipment in the kitchen. It's our vegetable steamer. It's been a very, very poor brand, I guess, because it's just been riddled with mechanical problems ever since it's been in the kitchen. So it is in the process of being discarded. We recently received a brand new steamer. It's supposed to get hooked up on Thursday.
The reason I ask is when it was coming, because the broccoli yesterday was outstanding. It looked like it had been steamed in a new steamer, so I thought you got it done.
No, the cook just really did a better than average job. Thank you. Oh.
Virginia?
Any comment on the anytime menu?
No. Again, that decision is being made above my head, and they haven't shared with us when they're ready to release it again.
Could we have a large salad as an entree occasionally with the tomatoes, the carrots, the whole works, just as an entree?
Are you saying a salad without any kind of protein in it, without like chicken or different meat, just a big, green salad as an entree? We wouldn't do that per se as an entree because with only 2 entrees on the menu, we have to offer a protein as one of the choices. But we always have our JC salads, and Caesar salads are always available. So, okay. All right. Wonderful. Kathy, what do you want to share with everybody? You look like you're chomping at the bit to address this group.
I just want to say thank you to everybody. I mean, this obviously is not what we thought would be going on for this long. We started this in March with delivering meals, and now we've opened up the dining room to a max of 50 people. But I just really appreciate everybody's patience. And the team has been working hard through this, and we just appreciate all of you. Chef has cookie in his mouth.
As usual.
Okay. So, all I want to do is say is this, is I appreciate everybody. I've been here going on 2 years this month. Okay, you guys supposed to say, woohoo. You're not happy? That's it? Wow, what's going on here? 2 years. But it's never changed from day one. I do want to make sure you guys got good food, okay? That's number one. I want to make sure that you guys still have the experience, even though the experience today is a lot different than what it used to be. Less people in there. We have to do deliveries and things like that. But we still want to make sure you guys still have good food and have a good time, okay? It's very, very important to me. So.
You did a good job and you hired Larry excellent.
Thank you.
I think he's excellent.
You hear that?
My God, I love you.
You hear that, Larry?
Oh.
Miss Salamone says that you're excellent.
Thank you, Miss Salmo. So that's about it for me, okay?
And, I'll just mention a couple of other quick things. So, as Larry just said, he's approaching his second year with us. Kathy just crested her 4-year anniversary with us.
She's outstanding too.
She is outstanding. Let's hear it for Kathy. She's amazing. She's amazing. And in February, I'll be rounding my 5th year back with the company. So, we've all been in the trenches together, and, we're here for you. Sometimes, we have our challenges, but, at the end of the day, we are here for you, and that's just what I want you to remember. Just bear with us. Sometimes it's more challenging than others, but we'll always do the right thing for you guys. So I thank you all for allowing us the opportunity to be of service. That means a lot to me. So, thank you all so much.